My two Satoshis that I'm going to throw at you today in this episode of Food for Thought is Bitcoin cannot go up because of this behind me. You can go ahead and pause the video and walk through that. This was a portion of the daily update that I provided for my Discord community and the Cryptillion YouTube tier. In this video, I'm going to show you the relationship among three things. So you have to stay tuned till the end because it's not going to make sense if you don't see the relationship among all three, right? The stock market essentially leads Bitcoin. That's you can see that. Let me do it this way. You can see that as the base. Then Bitcoin, its relationship between those two, and then the relationship between Bitcoin and altcoins. And at the end, you're going to be able to see that relationship by essentially looking at Tether dominance chart. If Tether dominance is going down, which means Tether is being converted to crypto, and Bitcoin's looking anemic like it is now, that means altcoin, like the money's just going straight to altcoins, which is the current situation. So we're going to take a dive, and this is going to help you digest lower term time frame price action with a holistic view. So it's not a macro view. It's more of a finite yet holistic, as weird as that sounds, short term time frame view so that you can read the charts better. You better get ready. Let's get it. Again, here's the chart behind me. This is the S&P 500. I use the US 500 ticker that you can see right here on the chart. And first off, if I take all this off, let me show you something compelling here. Remember my crossbad video? Let's go to Bitcoin first. And let's go to a clean chart, Tim. Here we go. The weekly 10 EMA and the daily 10 EMA. Weekly 10 is red and the white line is the daily 10 EMA. When the white goes below red, it's bad. So you can see on Bitcoin, it went down below it here, bad. Went below here, bad. On Ethereum though, see how it almost got above on Bitcoin? It did get above on Ethereum. See how white's above red, and its price is doing what? It's flirting. Let me go down to the 3-minute chart with the same EMAs, daily 10 and weekly. So I even have it labeled. You see this? All right. So in essence, the S&P 500 is not above the same white line. It's the same EMAs. So you see how white is above red, but on Bitcoin, it's not. S&P 500, US 500 chart, white is above red, similar to Ethereum scenario. Okay? Now, Bitcoin is stuck. Let me go to the 15-minute chart. I drew this black triangle. Well, I mean, when price was up here, and I've done a follow-up video on that, and it fell in my triangle. Look how anemic Bitcoin is right now. But why the hell are things like Shiba Inu, even Ethereum, Atom is spiking up? Why is all that happening when the S&P 500 is not allowing Bitcoin to break out of this triangle, and Bitcoin doesn't look that healthy? Why is that? It's because, and that's the connection to the third, is between Bitcoin and altcoins. Like, where is Tether going, essentially? Where is the flow of money within crypto specifically going based off of how S&P 500 dictates Bitcoin? People are throwing money at altcoins right now, even though Bitcoin, it doesn't have permission to break out of here, right? So go to US or the Tether dominance chart, and all you have to do is type in USDT.D on your, and then click and hit enter on Tradingview, and you guess what's happening? What two EMAs are in play? The white and the red. But what's the difference though? Let's take off price. What's the difference? They're getting ready to cross up. So this would be a bullish cross up. It's getting ready to cross up. And so if this chart goes up, that means that people are going to convert crypto back into Tether or a stable position, which means the price of crypto is going to go down. The same two EMAs are in play. It's the same two lines. on US, on the stock market, on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on Tether dominance. They're all together, and it's getting ready to cross here to the upside, which means crypto will go down, and Ethereum is struggling to avoid the bearish cross. And this is trying to force Ethereum's hand for the white to go below the red, right? Let's put the I guess price action of this back on. And you can see here that through, let me actually take off the EMAs. You can see here throughout this move down, this means that crypto is going up in general, typically Bitcoin, but Bitcoin really hasn't been going up. It's stuck in this triangle. Why not? Because all that damn money's going to altcoins, right? So they're flying up. Now, if Bitcoin can break out of this triangle, then it's possible that the tether that's being converted to crypto, more of it goes towards Bitcoin. And so if the S&P 500 ends up not getting above that white line, then all the people buying alts right now are gonna be screwed. It's gonna slam down on their faces. So they're essentially front running the idea, even though the people buying altcoins that hard right now aren't obviously thinking this far ahead. But if they had they been, they are front running the idea that the S&P 500 will bust up above there in time before Bitcoin falls below there. It has to do it within a certain amount of time. And that Bitcoin will bust up on and out of here and hit this monthly line up here at 23,200. This is a very clear target. A lot of sellers are going to come into play there. So you might want this on your chart. If Bitcoin busts up, you need 23.2 on your chart. Okay. But if the S&P 500 cannot get above and Bitcoin falls out of this triangle, folks buying altcoins are going to get screwed. Now, here's another way for people who are playing with futures and or margin. Right now, Bitcoin looks anemic, right? And it looks like it's going to fall out of this triangle. It actually kind of does. And let me get myself small and show you this on the small time frames. All right. I mean, it doesn't look very good. Once it goes below here and uses this line as resistance, it's going to drop straight to 19.7. I know I've already covered that on my previous videos. So it's looking anemic. So in terms of margin plays, even though it looks anemic and you're out there shorting altcoins, just realize that altcoins are going to keep going up until Bitcoin drags them down, grabs their ear and drags them down. Because people aren't getting it that Bitcoin isn't broken out of this. They're just buying altcoins assuming it will, right? And until Bitcoin goes below this black triangle, folks are going to continue buying freaking alts. It might not be folks. This all might be an altcoin bull trap coordinated by big groups. I really don't know what's happening. It might be mostly retail driven. I'm not for sure the source of the money, but the money is flowing to altcoins. And so if you are trying to get into margins or leveraged futures trades on alts and you're trying to short, given that Bitcoin looks not that great and S&P looks like it might be getting rejected there, just realize you can get smoked until this line is broken by Bitcoin, because people are still freaking buying those altcoins and they're going to go up and they're going to go through your targets. They have the possibility to, because all that tether out there, that chart is generally down. And that bullish cross, white going above red, hasn't happened yet. So it's still in that downward channel. And the downward channel means money's still flowing into altcoins. And I don't see that turning around until Bitcoin falls below here, right? So piecing this together, the S&P 500 will not allow Bitcoin to break out of this triangle and race up to 23.2, which it probably will go. It could get stopped in this next black triangle here. It could, from this structure over here at 22.1, but it'll likely go to 23.2 if it breaks out. Bitcoin doesn't have permission to do that until wrong one. The price gets above the daily 10 EMA, which is the white line. Are you seeing, are you smelling what I'm stepping in here? And so if you are somebody who is looking to play altcoins and shorts right now, yes, it's always wise to play the chart just for the chart. Where will sellers come in? Like, ignore all this stuff. You need to integrate that to some degree, right? But also it's good to step out and see all the factors in play to really get an idea that, hey, if I see this get above here, I might stop shorting altcoins because Bitcoin's going to go above that black triangle, and people are already spending money on alts. They're just going to do it more if Bitcoin goes up. So this is like this white line right here is your main indicator for trying to be short in the market. And as it's still stuck below and maybe is getting crunched between the red line, which is the weekly 10, it won't tank, until it gets below the weekly 10 essentially. And then it'll probably go down to the daily 89, which is a little bit below, and then bounce. But until that happens, people are still going to be buying alts, even if S&P is going, something like this, like down. Tether is still being used to buy altcoins. So it's going to be slightly trickier in that situation to enter altcoins from a short perspective, just because of that white line on S&P 500. I'm telling you. And so we're essentially, in this case, you'll see how the first and the third are connected because this is like the middle link. And Bitcoin hanging out in that black triangle doing nothing. Well, folks are still dumping Tether or stable coins into crypto, which is the connection between the second thing, Bitcoin, and the third thing, altcoins. And it's that house of cards. It's not technically house cards, but that house of cards isn't going to crumble until Bitcoin falls below that black triangle. It's almost exactly at 21,000. Not on a wick, a 1 hour wick. It's got to get below and use it as resistance on like the 5-minute and 15-minute chart. So just put a horizontal on Bitcoin for the low end on when this house of cards would fall, and use this chart. So holistically, this is summing it up, like how to view what's happening holistically right now. The easiest way to do it. Okay, in summary, I'm going to break this down super simply. The house of cards to fall to the downside is going to really cascade once on Bitcoin the $21,000 level is broken, which is this black triangle behind me. It's almost exactly 21K. And it can't just be a wick like these guys here. It's got to get, and you can use, I'm on the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart's fine. But if it goes down here, it's got to go below it and use it as resistance and then start heading down. And that's when people are going to stop buying altcoins and Tether dominance is going to start flying up. And the S&P 500 doesn't, so I'm not breaking it down yet. I'm going into more detail. The S&P 500 doesn't have to go down for this to happen. It's simply that if the S&P 500 doesn't go up fast enough and simply it goes sideways, Bitcoin's going to lose this line. It's anemic because money's not flowing to Bitcoin. It's flowing to people buying altcoins. So if Bitcoin can't hold this line as S&P 500 goes sideways and it goes down, like say over the weekend, it's going to 19.7. Right? Okay. So the easiest way. So now I'm going to break it down as simply as possible so you can throw on your charts and start to see what's happening holistically. It's just two things. First, $21,000 line on Bitcoin. That's when House of Cards bearishness falls down, or the bears come in and swipe the House of Cards. But for the bullish case, when alts will start flying even friggin' harder, and it would be your cue to stop being short, is the daily 10 EMA right here on the S&P 500. And it's just so easy to use this ticker right here. Literally, you type in US 500, enter on TradingView, throw on your daily 10 EMA. I would recommend the MTF EMA right here. See how it says FX_Massa MTF EMA. You type that in. And you can have the 5-minute chart to really view how is the S&P interacting with it. And it's not just and so you can also see that it's got other resistance at the exact same place because People who trade trend lines, look at this. Actually, I'm going to use the projector tool. You have structural resistance there as well. Throw on my live chart. You also have this, well, I'm going to get that off of here. You also have this weekly horizontal, which is trying to use as support. So if you want to finesse things even more for the upside, daily 10 will make Bitcoin essentially give it permission to go above the black triangle, and then altcoins will really start flying. But the hope for that is not gone until S&P goes below the weekly horizontal and confirms it as resistance. And that's how I drew this black triangle here, and I knew price was going to get trapped around here. I drew this triangle before it got here. I already knew what it was going to do. And so if I could add a third thing, the weekly horizontal, even though that won't be the cascade for alts to fly, but the chance for alts to fly and the S&P 500 to get over this line is still intact as long as the S&P 500 is not below this and you confirming this line. So I have it labeled. You see this? Have it as resistance. And as that white line is used as resistance, but this EMA is not broken out of, alts they still have permission to go up because there are people for some reason converting stable coins into Tether. But Bitcoin cannot go up until that white line is broken. And if it's not broken for another couple weeks and Bitcoin falls below, everybody buying altcoins right now is going to be screwed. They're going to be so shit out of luck because it's going to go pretty far down. Click this video right here if you want to see why $550 target for Ethereum is a realistic target. You will like that video. And even if you disagree, I challenge you to watch it. It's straightforward and compelling. Click this video right here if you missed my last food for thought video. You got Timified. Peace.